Hey golfers, I'm Derek Murray. This is ForeGolf Custom. This is where we talk about custom fitting, custom drivers, specifications, shafts, setup, all that kind of good stuff that we do here every day. Today I'm looking at TaylorMade's new R7 quad mini driver. Now, you think it looks like an old school driver, and the coloring is. Unfortunately, I am that old that I remember fitting this driver back in the day. So for me, this is a kind of a weird look of something that's from an older iteration. But this is a mini driver. The reason I wanted to talk about this today is because it's the first adjustable mini driver. I also want to talk to you because this is not for everybody. We get golfers in here for fittings all the time. This suits a certain type of golfer, and I'm going to tell you what the secret sauce is to this that makes it applicable to a certain type of golfer. Right, let's dig in. Smaller head, first of all. So it's not like a normal big driver. It's much smaller, hence this mini driver idea. It comes in two lofts, 11.5 and 13.5. So it sits basically between a driver and a 3-wood, okay? I've seen some people talking about this that, oh, it's going to replace my 3-wood, so I could buy this and get rid of my 3-wood and just have like this mini driver that'll hit off the tee and hit off the ground. Be careful, it may not. And again, I'm going to talk about this later on as to why. Okay, there's 4 weights in this. We've got more different weights that we can use to customize weight, but in the normal driver that you'll buy, you'll get 2 weights that are 4 grams and 13 grams. Where you position the weight will have a big effect on this club because it doesn't launch very high. The reason it doesn't launch very high is because the size of it, and obviously the size of the tee that you're going to have to use to hit this. So as a club off the tee, it's actually going to come out quite low in launch. So in most cases, you're going to want to keep those weights at the back. This will help to kind of create a little bit more stability in the club. It does have a carbon crown, but the rest of it is steel, which means that the weighting is very different to a normal driver. If you have a normal driver at the moment and it's high lofted, and you hit it okay and it's a little bit difficult to control, this may not be the magic pill for you. The reason being is, this thing does not go very far. It can't because it's a 2-wood, so it's a shorter length shaft, which is the key to its performance. But also, because of the way that it flies, it's not going to be as, I guess, forgiving as a driver. Because the driver is bigger, because it has more carbon fiber, because we can now position weights in the drivers in different positions to control the club head, you could actually find that a normal driver fitted properly would be more, I guess, forgiving than this club. I think the golfer that suits this best is actually the golfer that's maybe hitting 3-wood, a normal 3-wood off the ground, and then is using it off the tee. So he's finding it easy to flight the ball, and the 3-wood is on the tee and it's going high and higher, and it's harder to get it to go further. Then this is a good transition instead of moving to a driver. So I think the person that hits 3-wood quite confidently and wants to move up to a driver that goes a little further but is a little bit nervous, so the game isn't quite there yet, then this would be a perfect club. It's also actually good for those golfers that are quite strong, that are able to hit the ball fairly hard, that like to hit the ball stronger. This will be a great club. It's coming in 3 different shafts in their speeder series. So there's a 50 regular, there's a 60 stiff and a 60X. So if you're that really strong driver that gets good strike and wants a neater profile head that's a little bit more forgiving, then this probably could be a club that you could consider. If you're good enough then to strike the ball and you're strong enough, then it would work as a club that you could hit off the tee, so a strong 3-wood club. So let me talk about the settings that I'm seeing working best in this. Okay, so let's just say you're that golfer who struggles with a little bit of strike. You're inconsistent in terms of strike point on the face, so you're struggling to control driver, but you're more struggling to control driver based on the length of the shaft. Then go for one of these. Maybe go for the higher loft though, the 13.5. As I said, it doesn't launch very high, and it usually suits golfers that have a little out to in swing. If you're a cutter of the ball, if you miss it to the right, here's my secret tip. Get the high loft. Move it into the higher setting, which will close the face. Shift the 2 weights from the front, put one at the back in the heel side or in the back corner, and put the other one into the heel side. It will help to control that movement to the right, and you'll find that this will hit more fairways for sure. Will it be as long as a driver? Potentially not. It does have pretty good speed. It has a twist face, which is the design capability from TaylorMade, where the corners of the face are slightly angled to help with the off-center hits. but it's the weights and the settings in the Hosel that will help to turn this club head in and stop it from slicing. It's also because of its length. This is 44 inches long. It's quite short. So that's why it suits that golfer that struggles to deliver the club head. As people that come here know for their fittings, I'm a big fan of shorter length drivers. So this kind of feeds into that where I'm struggling to control the strike and get it more consistent. This length of shaft is brilliant. Be careful if you're a slower swing speed, if you're a lighter frame or you like a lighter club, or if maybe you're a lady golfer or a senior golfer, this thing is heavy. It's D5 swing weight, so the head weight is very, very heavy, which means that it can be struggle to actually swing it if you don't like or struggle to swing a heavier weighted club. Fitting for this is absolutely vital. I would be very cautious about how you're configuring the weights. A lot of golfers are talking about pushing the weights forward to lower the spin rate. I'm not actually seeing it as much from those weights. I actually think having them at the back is probably more beneficial for most golfers because it's creating a better MOI, again feeding into the more forgiveness, consistency sort of storyline. I think pushing the weights up front is only going to bring the flight down. It's going to make it harder to flight the ball, and that's not something that you want to do. The Hosel is brilliant. I really like TaylorMade's Hosel because I've now started to get past the lower and higher thing. Lower opens the face a little bit more, higher closes the face a little bit more. And then remember the little tip for the upright setting. That's the standard loft, or the loft that's on the club, a little closed, or you can go a little up or a little down, but still a slightly closed setting. Bottom line is, this is not for every golfer. In fact, I actually think that I could get a driver to perform this if you're a poor driver of the ball. Again, by using the bigger head for more forgiveness, for more stability, especially the QI35 and the Max. Keep the shaft shorter anyway. Maybe put a little bit more balance weight into the shaft to make it easier to release. And maybe that might be a better option. However, like I've said, if you're interested in moving up from a 3-wood and you're going to want to get a club that's easy to strike and fairly consistent in terms of its strike and delivery, then maybe that mini driver might be worth a look. If you've hit this or you've got any questions about the settings, stick them in the comments below. I always try and answer those for the golfers all around the world that are watching the channel. Again, thank you so much for people that are subscribing. The channel is starting to grow a little. I'm delighted. It means that people are finding the information good. So please give us a little subscribe there if you haven't already, and I will catch you at the next video. Thanks so much for watching.